While most of you are familiar with the popular TV shows like The Walking Dead, Stranger Things, and Game of Thrones that get a ton of attention from the media, there are numerous hidden gems flying under the radar many have overlooked that are well worth watching.
This video is brought to you by Answerly, a question platform that pays you for adding high-quality answers on different questions. The users are rewarded in Answerly tokens, which they can easily convert into dollars or any other cryptocurrency by using one of the exchanges mentioned in the description.
Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we will be talking about the hidden details in Netflix's most popular shows. With Netflix producing so many original movies, it's becoming more difficult to browse the service to find the movies you'd like to watch. While some of their films have been getting a lot of attention like Bird Box, Beast of No Nation, and Black Mirror Bandersnatch, there are other original films on Netflix that have flown under the radar. Remember the feeling of flipping through channels aimlessly and not landing on anything interesting enough to stop scrolling? 200 channels and nothing to watch. Sometimes, despite its plethora of instantly streamable options, browsing Netflix feels the same as being stuck in cable purgatory. You can look through pages worth of color-saturated thumbnails and still think there's nothing to watch. But you would be wrong. Netflix is a treasure trove. Here are the hidden details in Netflix's most popular shows. Number 10. Halt and Catch Fire. There's one scene that fans of Halt and Catch Fire who will invariably point to as being the series' high point. It's not that AMC's shamefully underappreciated drama, which ran for 4 seasons from 2014 to 2017 and centered around 4 lonely souls creating tech at the dawn of the industry, didn't have many other great moments, but this is the one that would have become iconic if more people had watched the show. The moment happens in the penultimate episode of the 3rd season, just after a time jump that propels the characters from 1986 to 1990. Cameron, the brilliant coder played by Mackenzie Davis, has returned to the US. She's now a cult hero for having designed a video game called Space Bike, featuring a punk heroine. She goes to Comdex, a trade show, and runs into Lee Pace's Joe McMillan, the ideas man who first identified her genius. The former lovers spend the day reconnecting and end up at an Atari party. As the Pixis Veloria plays, Joe and Cameron drunkenly dance, limbs flailing, the space between them closing. Before we proceed on to the next hidden details in Netflix's most popular shows, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, but if you don't, your hidden secrets will be revealed. You don't want that to happen, right? So just keep on watching. Number 9. Sliding Doors. How's this for an uncomfortable thought? Every teeny, tiny decision you make has the possibility of having massive ramifications on your life. Every teeny, tiny decision you make has the possibility of having massive ramifications on your life. Unfortunately, we can only walk one path and never see the alternative. That's what makes Sliding Doors such a fascinating thought experiment. The movie follows 2 alternate realities, one in which Helen, Gwyneth Paltrow, makes a subway train, and another in which she doesn't. It's a delightful romantic comedy, but also a meditation on the infinite branches of our life paths. Number 8. The Dig. Carey Mulligan plays an upper-class widow in England on the verge of World War II, wondering what history is buried beneath the downspout behind her manor. So, she hires a self-taught archaeologist played by Ray Fiennes to dig it up. It's a Netflix original that seems to have fallen through the programming cracks, but how can you resist the cast? It's based on the true story of the Sutton Hoo excavations, and you'll have to watch it to learn what they found, because I'm certainly not going to tell you. Number 7. Money Heist. Known as La Casa de Papel, House of Paper in its native Spanish, Money Heist is Netflix's most streamed non-English language show. The bank heist is a tired dramatic trope these days, but don't let that, or the show's bland English language title, put you off. Creator Alex Pina has made something special. The heist here, led by a mysterious man known only as the Professor, involves breaking into the Royal Mint of Spain and printing off 2.4 billion euros. There are even more twists in the show's 15 episodes than there are hostages. Number 6. Love, Death, Robots. Black Mirror became a viral hit with its prescient predictions about the panoptic power of social media. The short animated film called Love, Death plus Robots covers a lot of the same territory as Charlie Brooker's infamous sci-fi series, but with a bit more humor. Although it's occasionally juvenile and sometimes overtly sexist, each episode takes on a different aspect of our nightmarish future with a totally different visual aesthetic. Number 5. Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. The world is crazy right now, but if you want to escape into something even more crazier, check out this absolutely bonkers docu-series about a wildcat collector known as Joe Exotic. He's quite a colorful character who runs a private zoo filled with tigers, lions, and other exotic animals, and takes them on the road, plus makes country music videos and all sorts of other insane schemes. He's also consumed with rage against his nemesis, Carol Baskin, an animal rights activist and founder of Big Cat Rescue. So much rage that he decides to put a hit out on her. Yeah, you read that right. A murder hit. Number 4. Godless. With shades of John Ford's The Searchers, this language western was critically acclaimed, but swiftly forgotten after it landed on Netflix in 2016. Set in 1884, it's about Frank Griffin, Jeff Daniels, and his notoriously ruthless gang of outlaws' pursuit of their injured former ally, Roy Good, Jack O'Connell, who was hiding out in a small town populated solely by women after a mining accident killed off all its men. A gun-toting Michelle Dockery clearly relished in the change of scenery after years of Downtown Abbey, and a taciturn and Jack O'Connell are in brilliant form. Number 3. Big Mouth. Crude, rude, and rife, with surprised emissions of bodily functions, animated sitcom Big Mouth is also a sensitive, nuanced deep dive into the various horrors of teenagehood. When 12-year-old Andrew Gluberman, John Mulaney, is visited by the hormone monster, Nick Kroll, who voices many of the show's past characters, he finds his life irreversibly and seemingly disastrously changed. Unlike many other puberty-centered comedies, Big Mouth makes as much time for its confused female protagonists as its male ones. Maya Rudolph is a delight as the female hormone monster, and look out for Kristen Wiig's wonderful turn as a talking vagina. Number 2. Dark Tourist. New Zealand journalist David Farrier is an unlikely TV presenter in the same way that Louis Theroux is. In just about every scenario in which he finds himself, he's a little bit awkward. But as with Theroux, Farrier's weakness is actually his strength, allowing him to endear himself to many unusual people he meets on his journey through the world's most questionable tourist destinations. Farrier's stops include the site of the Fukushima nuclear disaster, the road where JFK was assassinated, and the Milwaukee suburbs where serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer murdered his victims. And finally, we have number 1, the death and life of Marsha P. Johnson. Though it's been somewhat tarnished by claims that director David France appropriated the work and research of trans filmmaker Raina Gossett, this documentary is nonetheless a loving, respectful tribute to gay rights activist Marsha P. Johnson. One of the key figures in the Stonewall Uprising, through her involvement was almost entirely eradicated in 2015's critically hated Stonewall, Johnson modeled for Andy Warhol, performed on stage with drag group Hot Peaches, helped found the Gay Liberation Front, and then died under suspicious circumstances in 1992. At this point in the pandemic, we've probably all exhausted our Netflix watch list a few times over. It gets dark early, nights are long, and there's nothing to do but be bored in the house. Luckily, Netflix's expansive offerings go beyond reruns of mediocre sitcoms. The streaming service actually seems to have a near-endless amount of content, despite much of it being hidden by the company's algorithm. We have been keeping ourselves entertained with Netflix's newest and most popular releases, from captivating documentaries to action-packed crime thrillers. This time, however, we are turning our attention to the underrated titles, better known as the hidden gems on Netflix. Sure, they may not have been major box office hits, but considering the strong performances and complex storylines, these movies are just as compelling as the ones we've all heard of. What is your favorite Netflix show? Let us know your thoughts about this video in the comment section down below.
If you like this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. To learn more about Answerly and Answerly tokens, check out the links in the description.